This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
For your information, we talk with two area businessmen who won spots in the general election for mayor of the city of Hazleton. Welcome to Wednesday's FYI. I'm Ken Karen. We're going to get right into our election coverage from FYI News 13 and the Hazleton Standard Speaker. All eyes were on the city of Hazleton last night as four candidates, including the current mayor, vied for a spot on November's general election ballot. In the end, two current councilmen were victorious. Republican Councilman Jeff Cassat unseated incumbent Mayor Joe Yanuzzi, while Democratic Councilman Jack Mundy stayed off a challenge from political watchdog Grace Kuzo.
Jeff Cassat has captured the Republican nomination for Hazleton mayor in the city of Hazleton. Jeff, the call came early saying that you are victorious in this race. Did you think the numbers would come in your favor this quickly?
I never imagined it would come in that quick. I knew I had a lot of support and that the city wants to move forward. But it's very humbling to get those kind of numbers that fast and to call a race that quickly.
This was a really quiet campaign, but you were out there. You were the one that was really waging a campaign. I
did. I used every aspect of the thing. I did mailers. I did robocalls. They were not my robocalls. I called people at 2 o'clock in the morning. But we used robocalls, direct mail, a lot of newspaper, TV, Facebook. So we went all out and we did. I didn't want to take anything for granted. And I think I ran a nice, clean campaign that ended successfully.
Now, Jeff, you're a longtime Hazleton businessman. Why is it so important for you to become the next mayor if you're successful in November?
I love the town, and I want to see it move on, and I want to see it stay a community that it once was. And it still is. People got to believe in Hazleton, and I just want to help it move forward. We have a good future, so that's all I'm worried about right now.
What do you see as the biggest issue facing the city?
The biggest is our finance, because without the finance and tax base, we can't do anything else. We need more police, we need potholes filled, but everything comes from revenue, and that's tax base. So we got to work on building up our tax base so we don't have to tax the people. So it's financial, which is obvious.
In my practice here at the mall, I couldn't get out to campaign because of when the primary is, but I talk to people every day. I see thousands of people during the tax season, and I hear their concerns. Their concerns about property taxes. They were concerned about the storm fee. Myself and Jeannie and Dr. Sosar, got rid of it, voted against it, got rid of the tax increase from the mayor, the stormwater fee, which I think was hurting businesses. I know Quality Beverage paid $1,000 and they're not too happy about it. And I think that's an impediment for people moving into the city. And we got rid of the stormwater fee, and we gave the mayor a balanced budget. Hopefully he's using it. And I want to thank Joe Yanuzzi too. He's been in public service for many, many years. Close to he probably has almost as much experience as me. I mean, both of us have the most experience of all the candidates, but I want to thank him for his service too to the city.
You have two business people going into this election with you and Jeff, and obviously worked with each other on council.
Well, yeah, we've worked together on a lot of things on council, and we've agreed on most of the ordinances that we've been passed. We've had some disagreements with some, but that's part of politics. Jeff's a businessman. I'm a businessman. I think the previous 3 or 4 mayors have all been business people, and the 3 previous mayors served on council. So, I think that's important too, to be part of government and to be there making decisions. And I think people will see me as the more experienced person, and hopefully they'll vote for me in November.
And FYI was there as Hazleton Mayor Joe Yanuzzi received word that he had lost his bid for re-election. While disappointed in the results, he was proud to have represented the city he loves.
But I went into it with the expectation of doing what I wanted to do, and I did. And I think a lot of it is successful and will build from that point. The public naturally didn't, not the public, I'm sorry. The voters didn't, they see it the way I did, and they asked for a new person to be in charge of Hazleton. I think they're going to come in and hopefully build on what is here. I don't think they want to go backwards in trial and error, which is very costly to taxpayers. So if they would just take what we set in place and build on it with their own ideas, that's fine. But build on it and create a better Hazleton.
Now in the race for Hazleton City Council, it will be Democrats Robert Gavio and Gene Mope against Republicans Rocco Formica and John Keegan. Mope is the sole incumbent in the race. Keegan, a local pharmacist who has served on several municipal authorities, was the top vote getter on the Republican ticket. Formica is a retired educator and a longtime member of the Hazleton Civil Service Commission. The two edged out Dominic Tolerico and former City Council member Chris Puza. Gavio was the top vote getter for the Democrats. He and Mope secured spots on the November ballot. Former council member Kevin Shatter and political newcomer Rodi Umana fell short in their bids. In the race for 5 open seats on the Hazleton Area School Board, unofficial results show that 5 of the 6 candidates secured a position on the ballot in November on both the Democratic and Republican tickets. Former District Security Director Vincent Zola was the top vote getter on both the Republican and Democratic side. The other 4 victors were incumbent School Director Tony Bonomo, former Hazleton City Public Transit Director Bob Fume, former School Board member Marie Kay, and political newcomer Jackie Scarcella. Former board member Carmela Yankiewicz fell short on both tickets. The only local candidate in the race for Pennsylvania Supreme Court lost his bid for election last night. Supreme Court Justice Coriel Stevens was appointed to the court 18 months ago. However, in what was his first election loss ever, he failed to earn one of the top 3 seats for the Republican nomination. Stevens was appointed to the Supreme Court after serving as president judge of the state Superior Court. Stevens is also a former Luzerne County District Attorney and state representative. He was victorious in his previous 16 elections. In other news, Hazleton police responded to a retail theft at the Dollar General store located on East Diamond Avenue. The incident occurred at 10:30 this morning. 32-year-old Eric Doherty stole several items from the store. While fleeing from the store, Doherty damaged a bay window. He was found in an area just south of the store and was transported to Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton and will be charged with retail theft. There is no word on his current condition. Well, if you're going to the Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce's 123rd Annual Dinner and Executive Business Expo, make sure you bring some business cards. SSPTV will have a booth there, and you can enter to win WWE tickets and other prizes. The dinner is tomorrow at Genetti's on Church Street in Hazel Township from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's the Chamber's largest event of the year, and they host over 300 business professionals from the Greater Hazleton area. Well, if you aren't going to the expo and you like prizes and SSPTV, don't worry. Go to facebook.com/FYI News 13 and like our page. If you do, you will be eligible to win a variety of prizes. One really terrific prize will be awarded this Friday, May 22nd. One lucky FYI Facebook fan will win 2 tickets to see WWE SmackDown. Plus, all you race fans, listen up. Next Friday, May 29th, one lucky winner will win 2 tickets to see the We Paint Winners 400 race on June 7th at Pocono Raceway, and these are Bistro Chalet tickets, so like our Facebook page now to be eligible to win. Well, I pointed out earlier that it's Wednesday, and that's also known as Dave Day in these parts. The Standard Speaker sports editor is here, and we hit on everything from district playoffs to Penn State's coach's caravan. And coming up next on FYI, it's part 3 of Jeanine Mazurkevich's Healthy Living segment from the Greater Hazleton YMYWCA.
This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
And we have some events going on for the kiddos this spring and summer. We're back here with Rob Gold, and every Wednesday we're focusing on a healthy lifestyle, getting involved with running, walking, jogging, even biking and swimming. So Rob, thanks for having us, and I know there are so many events going on for the kids this season.
A lot of the 5K runs are also offering a 1-mile youth race.
Okay.
Penn State has a 1-mile youth race. The Community Services for Sight 5K has a 1-mile youth race. The Town and Trail has a 1-mile youth race. Some of the races coming up have special pricing for kids. The Run for the Orange has a price of $15 for kids, and if you're on the cross-country team, there's even a $5 discount on top of that, so you could race for $10. Community Services for Sight has a special pricing for kids. Penn State 5K has a special pricing for kids. And our Anthracite Youth Splash and Dash this year is being offered free of charge through a sponsorship by Luzerne County Community College. The Splash and Dash is held at Jim Thorpe, Mock Chunk Lake. It's a swim and a run and a swim and a run.
And when we look at these prices, we got to keep in mind that they are benefiting worthy causes. And what does the child get with that cost? They get a medal, t-shirt?
Usually, like at some of our races, everyone gets a participation medal. I can't speak for every single one, but it's about building confidence and living a healthy lifestyle. Hopefully we get them hooked on the fun aspect of this kind of event, and they continue to train and practice.
All right. Now, another important thing we need to mention are volunteers. Volunteers, you cannot even imagine how many volunteers it takes to put these races together.
So if you're a runner or an athlete, and maybe you can't volunteer at the 5K because you're a participant, you could come out for the youth race that's just before, or some of these events, the youth race is actually on a different day. So we would appreciate you coming out to volunteer.
All right, all of the races are on the screen, all those good social sites to get more information. Join us every week right here on FYI.
Time now for FYI News 13 weather.
An overcast sky hovers over downtown Hazleton. It felt very cold today, so I'm happy I still have my gloves and my very cool Indiana Jones-like satchel. And there is a hazardous weather outlook in place for our area as temperatures are expected to drop into the low 30s or into the 30s late tonight into early Thursday morning over parts of our region as we check out our forecast from the National Weather Service. Tonight, again, possibility that we'll dip down into the 30s tonight and might see some patchy fog around the region and maybe even some frost. On the extended forecast, Thursday mostly sunny. Our high will be near 70 degrees, so that's good news. At night, a little bit warmer, cloudy, then gradually becoming partly cloudy with a low of 46. Friday is mostly sunny with a high near 66 degrees. Kind of a windy one as it gets up to 29 miles per hour for the wind. Friday night mostly clear with a low around 38 degrees. Saturday will be sunny with a high near 65. Saturday night partly cloudy, low of 45 degrees. Sunday we will break into the 70s, high of 71 under sunny skies. And Sunday night mostly cloudy with a low around 53 degrees.
Tonight's weather is brought to you by Valley High, the area's oldest ice cream and fast food restaurant. Stop on in for a cold treat including our ice cream and yogurt, or some hot food including our burgers, hot dogs, fries, and much more. That's Valley High, Route 93 in West Hazleton. Treat yourself today.
It's the green screen on FYI. Here's your midday winning Pennsylvania lottery numbers. Pick 2, 5, 1, pick 3, 6, 4, 5, pick 4, 1, 5, 9, 2, and pick 5, 7, 2, 4, 3, 5. And your winning lottery numbers on FYI are brought to you by Boyer Insurance Agency with 2 locations to serve you. One is in Cunningham on Sugarloaf Avenue and the other one is in Nescapec on Broad Street. You can call them in Cunningham at 570-788-3543 and in Nescapec at 570-752-7683. Come back for Dave Day during sports next on FYI.
This is FYI News 13 Sports.
It's another Dave Day, and so happy to have Dave Seaman, the sports editor from the Standard Speaker, with us because it is such a busy week with district playoffs going on. A lot of our local teams definitely with good shots, Dave, at winning some district championships. One of those teams, the Hazleton area softball team, and Dave, I saw them against Berwick going after that Wyoming Valley Conference championship. The first game they had against Berwick at home, back and forth. Celine Pudlesny pitched that game, and Berwick got to her a little bit. I talked to her after the game. She said, "It's warm now. I like pitching in the warm weather." She definitely does. It was 7 innings of shutout softball, great defense, and a good way for the Lady Cougars to go into the playoffs.
And don't forget about their offense, too. They got contributions up and down the lineup, too. When they get some hitting to go with their defense and a little bit of pitching, and they're experienced. I mean, a lot of these players have played 3-4 years now. They know what it takes to win. They back winning another Wyoming Valley Conference championship, defending their sub-regional championship, and Lady Cougars are primed for another deep run.
And also, Dave, from that team after the game, when I talked to them, it was almost businesslike. They're like, okay, we won this, but they just kept bringing up, okay, now it's time for districts, now it's time for states. Very motivated. This group's been together a while. They really want a state championship.
Yeah, that's the ultimate goal, but first off, you have to get past Thursday, and it's always the toughest game. Coaches I've talked to, Coach Bruce Live, the former coach of the Cougar basketball team, always used to say that, so it was always the toughest game. Mike Joseph says the same thing. Gino Cara. Coaches always say that first game in district playoffs is tough because you lose that game and your season's over. So there's a little bit of pressure, but teams that are experienced can overcome that, and we've seen that already this week.
Dave, I had the chance to see the Tamaqua softball team, I believe, #1 seed in their tournament, taking on Pottsville for the Schuylkill League Championship. All year long, I've been reading in the Standard Speaker all these comebacks they've had. They didn't do it on that night, but they were very impressive, and I think this team definitely has a shot, too.
I think so, yeah. The Tamaqua Lady Raiders in a bracket with North Schuylkill, another local team. But once again, districts, it's a different animal, so you got to bring your A game every night, and the teams that pitch, field, it sounds cliche-ish, but they're the teams that are going to advance.
Do the basics well. Dave, you've been following the Hazleton Area Cougar baseball team. They get a win in the first round. Second round game today, and for updates on that game, follow Dave on Twitter, also standardspeaker.com, and read his article on Thursday. But the Cougars, Joey Barron on the mound in that first game, took care of business, 2-0.
Yeah, Joey had his A game for at least the first 4 innings. He said he had to gut through the 5th inning, and by that time he was winded. He told Coach Cara that he had enough, and fortunately for the Cougars, they have another ace in their bullpen, not a bullpen, a regular starter in Dante Biazzi. So teams that have 2 outstanding pitchers are usually pretty solid on the high school level, and when they're both left-handers, that's an added plus.
MMI baseball team, we did a story on them after their victory in the first round, rallying around, well, I'm saying rallying around Patchtown Tough, as their coach is saying, and the Preppers 1 step away. They'll play again today as well. And Dave, finally, the Coaches Caravan coming to Wilkes-Barre, the FM Kirby Center, and they land an offensive lineman from Stanford in Kevin Reiner, and that's a big get for them because the offensive line struggled last year.
Yeah, definitely. They need some depth on the offensive line, whether he's going to contribute. Well, this year he has 1 year of eligibility, so he has to make it happen this year. I see the recruiting's going well on the offensive line front. I know the Lions are after some more offensive line help, and that's going to be the key. We've talked about that before. You have the skilled people with Christian Hackenberg, Kale Lynch in the backfield, a slew of receivers, get the line together, and I think the offense could be special.
Finally, Dave, James Franklin making his rounds with the fans. Everything is a show with him, and I think that's a good thing, you know, as Penn State puts their name out there. That pitch he had at Yankee Stadium, I think, was even a show, too. That was a great strike. I wanted the Red Sox to maybe look into James Franklin. You think he's done a good job of selling this program?
I think that not only him, but the whole university, they've gone out of their way to promote the football program and the whole athletic department. I think Penn State has a lot to offer to the fans, not only the football program, and it's been going on now since Coach O'Brien started the Caravan a few years back, and it's gotten bigger and bigger, and you wonder how big it can get.
All right, well, Dave, we always appreciate your time. Check out his work and the rest of the staff at standardspeaker.com and also in the Standard Speaker. Well, it's time for our FYI Standard Speaker Scoreboard, brought to you by Sand Springs Country Club Golf Course. Looking for the best deal in town for seniors? $25 gets you 18 holes with a cart for seniors 55 and older. Sand Springs can add lunch for $4.99 more. Call 570-788-5845, extension 1. And don't forget, Wednesday is 50-cent wing night. Now to the scoreboard, and before I get to the score on your screen, here's a big FYI. The Hazleton area baseball team beat Scranton 10-0. They'll advance to the District's 2/4 sub-regional final on Monday at PNC Field in Moosic. Now to this score. In the District 11 Single A softball playoffs, Marion beat Monoy area in a Schuylkill League showdown. The Phillies win that game, and that puts them against #1 seed Tri-Valley on Thursday on the road in the semifinals. There was another good game in the District 2 Single A softball playoffs. MMI lost in 8 innings to Old Forge. Desiree Dinko pitched all 8 innings for MMI, striking out 11 batters and only giving up 1 earned run. The Iron Pigs had their game against Syracuse suspended on Monday after 9 innings. They picked back up in the top of the 10th, and Russ Kanzler came off the bench and knocked in the game-winning run. In their regularly scheduled game on Tuesday, the Pigs won 5-4. Kanzler was 1 for 4 in that game with an RBI, a walk, and a strikeout. Charlotte tops Scranton Wilkes-Barre 5-4, and that's sports for Wednesday. I'll see you after the social report to wrap up the show. It's Wednesday, and here's some delicious alliteration. It's signature steak night at Bottlenecks. All of their signature steaks are only $9.95 plus bottomless soup and salad for only $2.95.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's social news first. Tonight, happy birthday to Julia Solanowski. Love from your family and friends. Also tonight, happy birthday to our own Tom Novotny. Love from your family, friends, and all of us here at SSPTV. Our Talk of the Town report, the Hazleton Area Public Library will be holding the program Samuel D. Burr Speaks on the Civil War Era, Thursday, May 28th in the Community Room. This is an educational and interpretive program about the Underground Railroad. The program is open to the public and free of charge. Registration is strongly recommended and can be placed by calling 570-454-2961. And finally, a benefit golf tournament will be held for Aubrielle Marsicano Sunday, June 28th at the Valley Country Club in Sugarloaf. Golfers and hole sponsors are now being accepted. More information about this tournament, please contact the Valley Country Club Pro Shop, 570-788-1194. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Paul Major, formerly of Drums. Memorial lunch is Saturday from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Butler Township Firehouse. Military service will be held at 2 p.m. Joseph A. Matuella. Memorial service is Thursday at 1:30 p.m. at the Boca Raton Mausoleum. Arrangements were by the Glick Family Funeral Home. And Christopher R. Mercer of Freeland. Memorial is Saturday at the McHugh Wilczek Funeral Home. Friends may call from 2 to 4 p.m.
We're back here in Schuylkill County with Bob Carl. He is the president of the Schuylkill Chamber of Commerce. Lots going on, so if you're not a member, I highly encourage you to call Bob or one of his staff and get involved with the chamber here. So thanks for having us back.
Thank you, Janine, for being with us.
Your annual year begins July 1st, so there are going to be some amazing changes.
Well, again, we are working on a new membership dues tiering program. It's going to be a dynamic shift on how we approach membership. Membership built on value, different opportunities depending on what your needs and wants are as a business or a nonprofit. We're really excited. Each and every year we welcome a new president. This year it'll be President Tony Everdale, our outgoing president, Karen Kennardine, who had just had a fantastic year ending June 30th, will stay on our executive committee. We have great leadership in the chamber, a great board of directors, and we're 850 members strong and growing. Both the for-profit and nonprofits, we represent them all, and we're looking forward to another wonderful year.
Now, for people that don't know how large the Schuylkill Chamber of Commerce is, fill us in.
Well, again, 850 members, about 145 of them are nonprofits. The rest are for-profit, from entrepreneurs, small businesses, all the way up to corporations that are over 1,000 in their employee size. So we can do it for all sizes and all entities, and again, it's a great networking and great opportunity for businesses to improve themselves.
All right, well, thanks for having us here, and we will continue our segment with the Schuylkill Chamber of Commerce right here on FYI.
All right, that's going to do it for FYI. Remember to like our Facebook page, facebook.com/FYI News 13 to be entered into those contests. We'll see you on Thursday. Take it easy, everyone.